So we will see a sum based on mass percentage of solution. In the previous classes we have seen some formulas related to this, means mass percentage of solution as well as mass percentage of solution by volume we have seen. So in this class we will see a sum related to this. So here class 9, a solution containing 50 grams of common salt. Okay, a solution is containing 50 grams of common salt in 200 grams of water. Okay, so a solution containing 50 grams of common salt in 200 grams of water. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. Okay, so once again we will see some question. A solution is given. This solution is containing 50 grams of common salt. Solution is containing 50 grams of common salt in 200 grams of water. Here calculate the concentration. We need to calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of solution. Before doing any sum, first you need to identify the given components in the question. What are the values which the question has been given, we need to identify. Once if we have identified the values, you need to note down these values. First you need to identify what is the solute and what is solvent. What is solute and what is solvent. I have already told the component which is present in lesser quantity. The component which is present in lesser quantity will be your solute. Larger quantity will be your solvent. Larger quantity will be your solvent. So which is present in less quantity will be your solute. Larger quantity will be your solvent. So mass of solute, that is salt, given as 50 grams. In the question, mass of solute, nothing but salt present in less quantity compared to 50 grams, you need to compare with 200 grams. Mass of solute salt is 50 grams. Mass of solvent, that is water, is 200 grams. So mass of solute is 50 grams. Mass of solvent is 200 grams. Next, we need to find mass of solution. Mass of solution. So we have already told solution is nothing but solute plus solvent. Mass of solution will be equals to mass of solute plus mass of solvent. Okay, mass of solution is equals to mass of solute plus mass of solvent. Okay, so once again we will see mass of solution is equals to mass of solute plus mass of solvent. What is the mass of solute here? Mass of solute is 50 grams. Mass of solute is 50 grams. Mass of solvent is 200 grams. Mass of solute given as 50 grams. Mass of solvent is given as 200 grams. Overall, if you are calculating, you will get 250 grams. So mass of solute plus mass of solvent. 50 grams plus 200 grams is equals to 250 grams. Next, you need to calculate mass percentage of a solution. Mass percentage of solution. Mass percentage of solution is mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. So mass percentage of a solution is nothing but mass of solute by mass of solvent into 100. This formula is very important. Mass of solute value is how much? 50 grams by mass of solution is 250 grams into 100. Why? Because we are calculating the percentage. 50 by 250 into 100, 0 will be cancelled. 5 2s and 5 5s are 5 1s and 5. So remaining 10 into 2 will be your 20%. First of all, you need to identify the given question, what are the components has been given. Next, you need to identify which is solute and what is solvent. Next, you need to note the mass of the solution, because solute and solvent is given but no solution is given. So mass of solution is equal to mass of solvent plus mass of solute, okay, is equal to 50 grams plus 200 grams. What I am getting? I am getting yes, 250. Next, mass percentage of solution, which is nothing but mass of solute by mass of solution into 100, which is the values. If you are substituting, you will get it as 20%. Mass percentage of solution will be equal to 20%. So, in this class we will see what are suspensions and what are colloidal solutions. What do you mean by suspension and what do you mean by colloidal solutions? Here we need to do an activity. In an activity we are taking a chalk powder as well as some milk. Okay. So we are taking two different test tubes. One test tube I am placing chalk powder, another test tube I am placing some milk. Later on I am adding few drops of water to it. Okay, so I add few drops of water to this mixture. Later on, pass a beam of light on both these test tubes. You can see there are some mixtures. Okay, so if you are seeing any mixture in present in this both chalk piece and milk powder, you can term this as heterogeneous mixture or homogeneous mixture. So we will see what is suspension. Okay, these are basically the heterogeneous mixtures. Suspensions are always heterogeneous mixtures which are consisting of solid as well as one liquid. Okay, so suspensions means always it is consisting of solid and a liquid. Here the solid does not dissolve here. Okay, the solid is not dissolving with liquid. Solid is not dissolving with liquid. So these are the heterogeneous mixture of a soil and the liquid in which solid does not dissolve like mixture of soil and water. When you are considering the mixture of soil and water, you can see that the mixture of soil and water are not dissolving. They are not dissolving to each other. Coming to what are colloidal solutions or colloids? Colloidal solutions are also known as colloids. These particles scatter a beam of visible light. Okay, these particles scatter a beam of visible light. So visible light means having the range from violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange to red. Okay, so which are colors comes under the category of visible light. So what are colloidal solutions? These particles easily scatter a beam of visible light. So these mixtures possess the characteristics of solutions as well as suspension. We have seen what is a solution. Solution is nothing but mixture of solute plus solvent. We have also seen what is a suspension. Okay. So these mixture, what they are doing, they are possessing the characteristics of solutions as well as suspension. Both the characteristics of solutions as well as the suspensions are present in colloidal solution or colloids. So these colloidal solutions are also known as colloidal dispersion. These colloidal solutions are also known as colloidal dispersion. The basic thing here is they appear homogeneous. Okay, they appear to be homogeneous, but they are actually heterogeneous. So basically, they are also called the colloidal dispersion. They appear homogeneous, but actually they are heterogeneous. A large number of substances, for example, consider milk, butter, cheese, cream, gel, boot polish, and clouds in the sky are all some example of colloids. Okay, they appear to be homogeneous, but actually they are not homogeneous. Instead, they are heterogeneous. A large number of substances such as milk, butter, cheese, gel, cream, and clouds in the sky are some examples of colloids. These colloids are heterogeneous in nature. In nature, they are basically heterogeneous and always consist of at least two phases. They are having at least two phases. One phase is dispersed phase, another phase is dispersion phase. Okay, two types of phases are present here. One is your dispersed phase, another one is your dispersion phase. Coming to dispersion phase, it is a substance that is present in small proportion. Dispersion phase is present in small proportion and consists of particles of colloidal size, okay, less than 100 nanometer size. So dispersion phase is a substance that is basically present in a small proportion and it consists of particles of colloidal size. Coming to dispersion medium, this dispersion medium is a medium in which colloidal particles are dispersed, they are moving. Okay, so dispersion medium is the medium in which colloidal particles are moving. The two phases, okay, these basically the two phases might be solid, they might be liquid, they might be gas. Okay, the two particles can be solid, liquid, or gas. So this is about suspensions and colloidal particles. So different types of colloidal solutions are possible. Depends upon the physical state of two phases. Okay, so what here we were discussing is the different types of colloidal solutions are particularly possible or depending on physical state of particularly two phases. The particles in a colloidal solution can easily scatter a beam of visible light. Okay, whichever particles are present in a solution, colloidal solution, can be easily scatter a beam of visible light. This scattering of beam of visible light is particularly known as Tyndall effect. Very important question. What do you mean by Tyndall effect? Okay, so the particles in a colloidal solution can easily scatter. These are scattering a beam of visible light, which are particularly known as Tyndall effect. This Tyndall effect, you can observe this phenomena while walking on roads having a lot of trees on both sides. Okay, having a lot of trees which are present on both sides, you can observe this. Similarly, when the sunlight is passing through the different branches, when this sunlight is passing through different branches and different leaves, what you will see is you see the path of dust particles. Okay, basically the dust particles which are present you can easily observe. So when the sunlight is passing through branches and leaves, okay, whenever you can see the dust particles here. Similarly, when the same sunlight is passing through canopy of dense forest. Okay, there are many dense forest, canopy of dense forest, mist. Okay, you will heard the term mist, few, okay, dew, dog, fog, etc. So this canopy of dense forest mist which contains tiny droplets of water. Okay, these contains tiny droplets of water. They particularly acts as particles of dispersed medium. Okay, these acts as the particles of dispersed medium, particularly in air. Another question you might get is ice cream a colloid? Okay, give an example of colloid solution as ice cream. So here, ice cream is made up of churning process mixing. Okay, we are mixing a mixture of milk, sugar, and flavors. Okay, so ice cream is made by churning a mixture of milk, sugar, and flavors. These mixtures are slowly chilled. Okay, we are changing the temperature here. These are slowly chilled to form. After chilling, they are forming ice cream. The churning process disperses air bubbles. Okay, this churning process is dispersing air bubbles into the mixture by the process known as foaming. Okay, two processes, one is foaming, another one is breaking of the large ice crystals into tiny particles. So these mixtures are slowly chilled to form mixtures by the process of foaming and as well as breaking the large ice crystals into tiny particles. So this is about the Tyndall effect, colloidal solution, and as well as is ice cream a colloid. Okay.